A class, or I guess my group. So module 9 discussion. Looks like we have something a little different. We do one question from each chapter according to this one. So chapter 13, 14, and 15. Chapter 13, my question is discuss the key components of the proposition regarding employee abusive organizations. What are they? Why are they important? And how do they help us better understand abusive issues in organizations? How can you apply these to your own professional history? Blah, blah, blah. Use the text. So, what are the key components and propositions regarding employee abusive organizations? EAOs. What is an EAO, or what is an employee abusive organization? It's a hostile work environment in which employees experience persistent harassment and fear at the work. Whether it's an offensive or intimidating or oppressive atmosphere. So, why are they important? They're important to understand because they have a wide range of counterproductive workplace behaviors. If you're constantly yelling at someone, or it kind of makes people a little it's kind of an abusive organization just there. So by understanding how the organization communicates and functions is in such a manner is a good relationship between that and how an organization affirms and reinforces structures that create employee abusive organizations. So that's how they help us better understand issues within the organizations. So how can I apply this to my professional history? Have you ever been in the military? All of it is just offensive, intimidating, and oppressive all at the same time. Always. So, I don't really have any organizations outside that. Most are pretty calm and collective, or, PC appropriate. So, they're all politically correct. In the military, it's far from politically correct. They try to use some terms that are politically correct, or they're trying to lean more towards that way, but for the most part, not really. So, chapter 14. What are the key similarities and differences between public relations and advertising and marketing? So, I'm just going to get into 2 differences and 2 similarities. One key difference here is for public relations and advertising marketing is how they communicate is being channeled through public or uncontrolled and controlled media. So with public relations, that's through your uncontrolled media. Whether you like it or not, it will be public. And then through advertising, you pretty much have to pay. So if you want your information out there, and you probably want to pay and let the public know, or I guess your consumers in this case, know what product you are selling towards those consumers. So another difference is public relations is to manage the relationship between the public that relates to the organization, as opposed to marketing and advertising, which is used to promote or influence a product to targeted consumers. So that's the key difference there. A similarity between them two is they're both directed towards consumers essentially. However, public relations is more directed to the entirety of the public. So that's one key similarity. Another key similarity here is wow, it sounds super monotone. Another similarity here is to how they understand the audience and how they communicate for both. It's the 4-step process for both. It's research, planning, communication, and evaluation. So you're going to research who your organization is, and the stakeholders or the external stakeholders for public relations. For your community or your target audience, you're also gonna research who that is for your organization. Then you're gonna set up a plan, and you're gonna communicate that plan, and then you're gonna evaluate how that worked, and then rinse and repeat. I have no public relations or advertising experience that I can think of, so I'm going to jump into the next one. Oh yeah, and that last one was on page 418 is where I got the similarities and differences. The chapter 13 one was on 388. Forgot to do that one. So chapter 15, What is a communication audit, and how might it work to help understand what is and is not working in a organizational setting? So first, a communication audit is research within an organization to better understand and evaluate the communication practices within an organization. That's on 461. If you go back to our chapter 14, it also talks about communication audit. It's through self-survey. You can do it either through a self-survey, or you can have an organization come out, or I guess some researcher come outside of your organization and do a survey for you, or for other, organizations as well. So through self-survey, an organization can understand its relations to the public and media, but knowing where its information and data goes to. So, and basically, an organization can find out where its information is communicating and going to. That way, the company finds it easier, easier to find out where to market. And it doesn't have to be just marketing. It could just be like, who they need to public relate to. So, interacting with the spreadsheet from page 422, I do believe that's our chapter. You can see on that spreadsheet, like, is the communication interactive? Is it outgoing? Is it on planes, trains, automobiles, etc.? So, and then there's two major types as well. There's off-the-shelf audit, and there's a strategic communication audit too. So, and that's all I have. I don't have any professional experience with communication audits, and that was all on, not all of it, but it was on 461 for the definition, and then 422 for where I got the spreadsheet from, and then there's like another table below it to show you some more information if you're interested. So, thanks for watching my video. See you in class.